Hi everyone, I'm gonna quickly go through our project directions. So this is going to be for my middle school students who are studying different countries right now. This is gonna be just a quick go through of what I expect from your country project. This project is going to wrap up everything we've been doing before spring break so that when we come back, we can start moving forward with our middle school lessons. All right, so let's take a look. So the first slide in your project template, which I made for everybody, is like a directions for you. So first thing you are going to do is you are going to do file, make a copy, entire presentation. So you change it, you put your name. So like if this was my copy, I'd write Peta Country Project or Maria Country Project, whichever one you want to do. As you go through, you'll see there are these um, parentheses and some dots. Anywhere you see that, you are going to take that out and write your country. So if my country was Mexico, I would write it in here and I would get rid of the parentheses. And then, of course, same thing for your name. I'd write Maria Capetta or whatever your name is. Okay, so that's the first step. You're going to use the notes that you have been taking while we've been doing this project to complete the presentation. Pick a country that you're interested in. Don't pick a country that you don't know anything about or that you don't really care about, because then you're not going to want to do the project. So for me, like I learned a lot about Brazil, so that might be a project that I want to pick, or I might want to do South Korea or whatever country I find interesting. Add a ton of pictures if you want to make them the backgrounds, if you want to make whole slides of just pictures, that's totally fine with me. More pictures, the better, because I want to be able to see your country that you're talking about and the different things that you bring up in your presentation. If you find a video, share that too. There's nothing wrong with having a video on there. If you find one of people eating traditional South Korean food and you're doing South Korea, that's really cool. Whatever it is that you're interested in. This is in bold because it's most important. You are going to have to do some research on your own. Yes, Raz Kids gives you some information, but they don't give you the best information. So you'll see as you go through, the topic titles are the ones from your notes, but you may need to go and do some more research on your own. You can do that with using a video, you can use Newsela, however you want to do it. Just make sure that you add a little bit more. The other thing I want to tell you is that you are going to have to present this project. Either you can screencastify yourself reading the presentation, you can use your computer to record, or however you want to do this. Or on Wednesday, April 8th, I have office hours from 10 to 12. So if you want to join me then and just do your presentation over Zoom, that would totally be fine as well. But you will have to present, or I won't be able to give you credit for doing the project. When you're done with your whole project, in red, delete this slide. All you have to do is right click on this one, hit delete, and it'll disappear. Email me if you get stuck. And of course, it's due on April 8th, like I said. Time limit, don't really worry about it. I just give it to you so that way you hopefully will get it to me by the end of the day because you have to present. So like I said, just go through. If you see these parentheses, just put in your information. Don't leave country name there for you. I want to know what your country is. Go through location, the country is on which continent, the capital city is what, country is by what bodies of water, the countries that border the country are whatever it is. You can use maps to answer this question. You don't even have to go back in your book to figure this out if you want to just look in a map. But Kids obviously tells you all this information. For people, the people speak. What language do they speak? What do people do for work? Where do most people live? Do they live in cities? Do they live in towns? The natives were, so for example, if you're talking about Mexico, you could say the natives were the Aztecs and the Mayans, or you can say that they were the American Indians that lived there. The population is, write down what the population size is, whatever it might be. For land, describe the landforms. Some famous landforms are, describe them. So I put the word describe on there, and I don't want to just see for land the Sahara Desert for Kenya. I want to see information about what you learned. Describe what it looks like, describe what's around it, things like that. For history, what, was the country's history? What was who came there first? Who were the settlers that came? A lot of times we talk about like for Brazil, the settlers were from Portugal, so that's why they speak Portuguese. So that's really important for their history. What were some major conflicts or wars? Meaning, like, did they have a Mexican Revolution in Mexico? Did they have um, the World War II in South Korea and Japan? What does the country look like today? Just tell me, like, is it a democracy? Is it a dictatorship? What are some things that you learned about what it looks like today? Culture, what holidays do they celebrate? Most of the books tell you about different holidays that are special. What main religions do people follow? Not every country is going to have that, but for some of them, that is a big part of their country and their identity. What do people like to eat? Like I said, when I did South Korea, Korean food is like some of my favorite food that they have. So if you know any like traditional foods that they eat, write that down there. How do they dress? Do people in India wear saris? Uh, in America, we don't necessarily all wear that. So like it's just interesting to look at the different cultures. And finally, interesting facts. Anything else you find interesting, write it down. Write down Brazil. I didn't know Brazil is the largest country in South America, even though that makes a lot of sense when you look at a map. So it might be something that you might want to write down. You might write, if you pick Egypt, you might say that the Nile is the longest river in the world. Whatever interesting facts you have. So, of course, if you add pictures, lots of pictures, add videos if you find it. I'm not going to ask for a works cited. I don't need that from you. I know most of your info is coming from Raz Kids. If anything is a little crazy, I might just ask you, but make sure that you take your time and do this. I'm giving it to you a week early. So, I really hope that you all are able to enjoy this project. It's a really cool one. We're each going to pick a different country, hopefully, and we're going to. That's the other thing. You have to email me with what country you pick, and we will hopefully learn a lot about some different countries. So email me if you have any questions. Other than that, I look forward to learning more about what you found interesting and which countries you found most interesting. All right, bye.